afternoon. My name is Joseph Lloyd and I source cars for people on a professional basis, hence the name of my channel, Lloyd Consulting. 4 years ago, I was asked to come up with a series of videos that were filmed inexpensively. We don't use digital cameras, we don't use fluid head tripods, we don't use shotgun microphones, we wear tatty shirts, we just use a phone. But we look at cars that you can buy for a budget up to £1,000 only, and we very much enjoy ourselves. These are cars that might be in cosmetically bad condition. You might see oil leaks, rattly dashboards and cosmetic imperfections, but we go all over the country and we find these very inexpensive cars that you all seem to enjoy watching.
Something that a lot of you seem to like on No Budget Reviews is 1990s Fiats. And look, we've got another one. This is a 1991 Fiat Panda 1000CL. It's down on, I think the DVA system is a Bianca, but I don't think it is a Bianca because it's red. But I might be wrong. There's a reason that we've left the door open, because there's no lock in it. I have to be careful, viewers. What a car. I mean, this is a Mark II which came out in 1986. Quite a heavily revised car. Like, a lot of the panels on a Mark II Panda are not the same as on a Mark I Panda. Although the basic kind of ethos of the car, in fact it's really simple, hasn't particularly changed. This one actually cost around sort of £1,500, something like that. You can buy these for under £1,000, which I can't believe, but you can. We've got a bit of rust going on here, which needs to be treated. Someone's had to go out painting this as well. But, you know, that's the sort of thing we like on No Budget Reviews. Isn't that hilarious? The aerial just kind of sits here, like on a little external thing there, and that's it. What a crazy little car. So we've got the 1 litre fire engine in this, which generates about 50 horsepower. This is a carb engine. The later ones of the Cat are about 45. The grille is of the pre-facelift variety. The facelift occurred later in 1991, which would be smaller kind of 4 lines. This was a bigger 4 lines, so it's actually a pre-facelift car. Not that there's an awful lot of difference really, but yeah, we'll be very careful, because if we shut this door, we won't be able to open it again. So we use the other door. It's not quite as basic as the earlier ones, which some of them had like a sort of, I don't know how to describe, like a hammock for the back seat. This has actually got like a proper back seat in it, all the luxury. But if you had like a 750L or something like that, that might be a bit different. What a car. Oh, we've actually got internally adjustable mirrors. Very, very big door pockets. They're absolutely huge. And we've got some trim, but it just keeps falling off. But Richard owned his car and has fixed it back on. That actually fell off when he was trying to go to Rusterville a few days ago. The speakers for the stereo are actually just like there. They're kind of just added on later, because I think when the car was designed in the late 70s, they didn't necessarily think that you needed a stereo. If you're going from the Fiat 126 that was the predecessor to this to one of these, then of course, you know, it's going to feel better anyway. Interesting driving position. It's not quite as bad as a Cinquecento. That's very offset, but we've just got nothing. Original stereo, that's actually been replaced quite soon because it doesn't work. Ashtray, because, well, that just sort of sits on there. Wow. Glove box. No. There is no glove box. What a car. So like a lot of 1990s Fiats, we've got the lights are actually there, and then the indicators are there. So you can easily try to indicate with this, and that won't work so well. Oh, my door is just closed. This is why we can open it from the inside, it's not the outside. No rev counter. We've got a nice little check panel here, and wipers are on here, but the rear wiper and washer is, I think, this thing here. So we've got choke lever. And lights there. And that light's there as well. 12-volt socket, I think, up here. It was fancy. We've got one of those. Wow. Heating and ventilation controls remind me of like a Mark II Fiesta, these. Plastic, it doesn't feel particularly good, but this car is well over 30 years old. It seems to have stood up for test of time, and we've only got 53,000 miles on the clock. But we've only got a door pocket on this side. Could you fit another door pocket to the passenger side? Looks like you could. Maybe that's fallen out or something. Yes, 4-speed gearbox. You could get a 5-speed on certain models, just this one doesn't have it. And there's not, like I said, I was expecting to see, like, you know, painted floors and rubber mats in this. We've actually got internally adjustable mirrors, which gives you all the sort of luxury of the CL spec. Right, let's actually go and look in the boot, shall we? So we've actually got a proper rear seat in this, and not this sort of hammock thing. I mean, I suppose that's safe. It's not the thinnest, it's not the thickest metal, but you know, we've actually got a very big boot in this. It's like 280 litres or something, which for a little car from the 1980s, although this is a 91, it's not too bad. We've got the thing. They're not the original plates, but they're still very old plates on this. It's good. I think the rear wiper mechanism is kind of, because not a lot of them had it, is very exposed. There it is. It's just like that. So if you could simplify things on this car, and you just had, you know, things like the inertia wheel seat belts being exposed like that, and obviously the wiper mechanism being like that, then you just did it. I mean, there's just nothing to this car whatsoever. It's designed to replace the Fiat 126 and be the most basic, economical, cheap car, and that's why people love them. Yeah. Right, let's open the bonnet and see what we've got under there. So, 1 litre fire engine, in this case developing 50 horsepower. There is a carb on this one, because we've got a choke lever. The spare wheel would be sort of here, I think. It actually lives there. You can see that the washer bottle has actually been especially designed to fit the spare wheel in here. Again, just as simple. We have got a brake servo in here, which I'm quite grateful for. Because a lot of little cars like this, even like the Mark II Polo until 1990, the right-hand drive did not have a brake servo. But yeah, I mean, these do have a cam belt, these engines, but generally they're sort of alright actually. Ones in the Mark I Punto, I don't think were actually less reliable than this for some reason. But yeah, that's it really. There's not really much to sort of talk about, other than the fact we've got the jack in here, which is just odd. There's just so much about this car which is fascinating. Anyway, right, let's go for a little spin, shall we? Just forgot to get in the back view. Is Mr. Manning from the Matty's Cars channel would not let me off doing that, so we're going to get in the back. Should be easy in this car. I hope so. God, you can see all the like the back of the seat run and everything. Okay. Ooh. Right. Ooh. Okay. If I sit upright, is there actually? Oh my gosh! There's actually plenty of room here, but there's loads of headroom, and although these headrests are sort of rubbish. Yeah. We've got inertia wheel seat belts in here. That is very strange to do it like that. Not height adjustable. There's no ashtray in here or anything. There's just nothing. Is this oh my gosh, it's a 5-seater as well. Oh my god. Yes, get the Bambini in. That's what you do. Yeah. Right. Let me free myself from my self-imposed prison. It's not actually that bad getting in and out of here, you know. It's much better than some much larger cars I've been in. Thank you, Mr. Manning, for continuing to provide me with a challenge every time I review 2- and 3-door cars. So off we go, viewers, on our Fiat Panda adventure. My gosh, the brakes are absolutely dreadful. I don't even know if they've got servo assistance. I think they have, but
it's not very good if there is any servo assistance. It's not great. Right, how's it round this roundabout? It leads quite a lot, but that's all part of the fun. We'll just adjust that mirror to see if you're behind me, because we've only got 50 horsepower viewers. That's all we have, and yeah, it's not a lot. We've also only got a 4-speed gearbox, and we've only got one wiper, which is actually working, which is good, but it's getting very noisy in here. Just above the speed of 2050, because I'm not very confident about how this thing is going to brake. Although it only has 50 horsepower, this has got a carburettor engine. I'm joking a little bit, there we go. There were actually Panda models with a lot less power than this one. There was the 750cc engine, which had, well, 34 horsepower. Yes, 34. There was the 900cc engine. It was a version of the same engine that was in the Cinquecento. That had 45 horsepower, which is also what the catalysed version of this 1 litre engine has. But I think it's a 903. This was supposed to replace the 903cc models, but I'm not entirely sure that it actually did. And there's loads of 900s that were sold after the beginning of Mark II Panda production, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but yeah, you can get that one. The 1 litres, when they had a cat, they were sort of introduced about 91, and then it's an option, and then standard from late 1992. So 45 horsepower, and if you wanted 50 horsepower after that, it was only available on the selector model. You get a 1.1, which is very similar to the engine that was actually in the Mark I Punto I drove on No Budget Reviews only this year. So yeah, not a lot going on. You obviously get a 4x4 model. One thing I don't like is the lights and the indicator stores being kind of together. It's a bit disconcerting, really. And so is the lack of brakes. I think these have a brake servo, but I'm just beginning to doubt that. Just got to make sure that we brake well in advance. This is not a Morris Minor, in which case, you know, you'd have just, you know, like drum brakes all round with no servo. Handling's actually, it's actually all right. It's a bit noisy in here, and it's a bit crashy, but the gearbox is okay. In some ways, I prefer driving this to a Cinquecento because it's got a little bit more power, and also the pedals are actually a bit better in this. Cinquecento pedals are really quite good to use. The drive was very, very, very upright. I felt like I could wear a bowler hat in this and it wouldn't be a problem. But yes, it depends what you want, really. I mean, it's very unrefined and basic. But if you're going from a Fiat 126, which this was supposed to replace, but then continued in production for another 20 years after the Panda came out in 1980, then you probably feel that this was quite an advanced car. Even compared to Cinquecento, this does feel quite old, but it has this sort of charm to it. And, you know, a lot of these older cars are like that. So you might be saying, I really want this. I saw that car at Rustival, and I want one like this. Well, I'm not sure if this one's for sale views, but I think you can pick them up for £100,000 if you really want. This one's only done 53,001, so it's worth a little bit more than that. But it's one of these cars which has been on my list to try for quite a long time, and now that I have, it's a bit scary. It doesn't probably like going much above 50. I mean, you could probably do more than 70. This would probably go quite deaf. I've sort of enjoyed it. I'm glad I've actually managed to now try one, because I know a certain gentleman who likes Fiats, whose collection I've dipped into in the past, who would think this was amazing. I mean, you know, the CL model, it's got, well, a rear wiper, it's got internally adjustable door mirrors, which don't adjust very easily. It's got some carpeting and a stereo and things like that, like not all the models have that. So your definition of luxury might be different from mine. Right, viewers, the lighting is terrible and we're in a different place because I've just actually driven another car between filming the first bit of this video and this bit, because this car was actually having a new stereo fitted, but we kept the original one in so you could see that. The Mark II Panda had an enormous number of trim levels. I don't even know if this is all of them actually that I'm talking about, but some of them actually run Mark 1, so the information on them is a little bit funny. So we have the L, the CL, the S and the CLX, and then the 4x4, those were the sort of standard ones, and then lots and lots of others. The Fantasia, the Mania, the Italia 90, which was based on the L with a 750 engine, some of you might know about that one. The VIP, the Bella, the Dance, the Super, the Bianca, the Madagascar, the Solar, the 4x4 Sicily, the Selector, that was the automatic model, the Parade, the Fizz, the Fire Special, the L Colour, and the Sergio Tacchini. I think that was a really nice one from what I remember. So viewers, should you consider a Mark II Fiat Panda with your hard-earned budget up to £1,000? It depends what you like. If you like absolute hilarity and cars that have got nothing whatsoever to them, then why not? Me though, I like a bit more luxury, and a Mark II Panda will not offer that to somebody. So there we go. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed for watching this episode of No Budget Reviews. Thank you to Richard for letting me have a go in this, and we shall see you again soon for more inexpensive motoring.